In the ever-evolving landscape of filmmaking and videography, a reliable gimbal becomes an indispensable tool for achieving smooth, professional quality shots. Among the many options available, the Manfrotto MVG460 gimbal, this one, stands out as a solid and reliable performer. Manfrotto brand is known for quality, the best tripods money can buy, in my opinion anyway, and it's only natural that they branch out to the world of gimbals. This stabilizer is somehow less in the spotlight. I literally don't know why. After all, it is branded with that logo that is associated with high quality. In this video, I'll talk about its performance, what it does and who it is for, and in the end, I'll hopefully help you to decide if this is the gimbal for you. So keep watching, don't skip, and you are going to find out more about it. Stay tuned. Before I talk about the specifics of the MVG460, it's essential to recognize the legacy that Manfrotto has built over the years. Since its inception, the brand has maintained a reputation for producing sturdy and dependable equipment, tripods, for photographers and videographers. Established in 1972, Manfrotto quickly gained industry standard status, and their products have become synonymous with reliability and quality, making them a favorite choice for professionals and enthusiasts alike. I have personally used only Manfrotto tripods for over 20 years of my career, and I still have the one I bought when I started, all working in one piece, and it went through a lot of knocks and abuse over the years. Naturally, I have very high expectations for this gimbal. I have used Zhiyun, Moza, Feiyutech and DJI gimbals before, and in my opinion, the same as with new cameras or lenses coming out now, the customers have got high expectations, and it's not a case if the product like this, especially at this price point, works well or not. I think it's given that it's going to do the job it is intended for well. So apart from brand loyalty, why should you choose this one over any of the other ones? I always thought that they were very proud of the fact that their tripods are made in Italy, showing that to everyone on their products clearly, but this gimbal is not. It is a child and offspring of Manfrotto collaboration with Feiyutech, already well-established gimbal manufacturer from China. It is a gimbal that is very easy to get going. It is easy to balance and use quickly. In a nutshell, you have to balance the camera on it by adjusting 3 axes, tilt, roll and yaw, so the camera is in the center of gravity. It will basically stay there no matter what position you are going to leave it at. Then, when switched on, the motors will keep it in that center of gravity and stabilize the camera for whatever filming situation you are going to find yourself in. Perfect for creating smooth, gliding shots with. This is a top-of-the-range bigger gimbal from Manfrotto lineup, and it can take up to 4.6 kilogram payload. If you shoot with mirrorless cameras, that's a lot. You will take a full-frame camera in a cage with bigger or heavier lens without any problem, or cameras like Blackmagic Pocket or even Red. Because it's standard tripod plate connection, it is easily changeable with Manfrotto tripods or any tripod with this type of standard plate or plates, as it supports 2 different types, Arca Swiss platform or QR plate. It means that you can quickly switch the camera from tripod to the gimbal and back if you need to. Also, once balanced, once you take the camera off and put it back on, it doesn't need rebalancing again, theoretically speaking anyway. Each axis is lockable with these little locks, so the gimbal doesn't flop around when being transported or for when attaching the camera and taking it off. Unfortunately, these are a little bit flimsy and often disengage on their own or by being touched lightly. So how it works? It works extremely well. The fact that it is easy to balance the camera well on it, it works flawlessly in the real world situations. It actually feels super stable and very smooth. The large touch screen makes it very easy switching between different modes. You get all the gimbal standards here as well. Pan follow, log, selfie mode, portrait for vertical shooting, inception, the spinny effect that you might use once in your lifetime, and more. All standard and all works very well, very impressive, and certainly a stabilization worth Manfrotto name and reputation. So what makes it different or special? This is a premium gimbal, higher class and directly comparable with DJI RS3 Pro. Very similar spec, but it is in fact cheaper. As a gimbal, as I said before, it does the job it's meant for extremely well, but in my opinion, some accessories make it stand out from the crowd. This one specifically, this is called GimBoom, and it's basically an extension pole. Super sturdy, extendable, made out of carbon fiber, but exactly right length to avoid flexing and cracking. I have combined it with this Manfrotto quick release plate for quick attaching it on and taking it off. I have seen some people attaching gimbals to monopods, which in my opinion is just a recipe for disaster. Not only that they could snap at the weakest points like the joints, but also the tiny screw at the end will be most likely made of cheap steel and not rated for big stresses or heavy payloads. It could simply snap and you could say goodbye to your camera, lens and the gimbal. This solution from Manfrotto is designed for this exact purpose, for holding the heavy camera and the gimbal. The connection and the screw of the quick release plate and the GimBoom are rated for 20 kilogram payload, so safe for the gimbal camera and the stresses involved in moving it or operating it. So the quick release plate is attached tightly onto this, and that simply clips onto this. Okay, it's definitely, when you got it in your hand, you definitely feel more confidence that this is gonna hold. It rotates inside the quick release plate, but it's holding it very well. We have to be very careful not to touch that, because when you touch that, it could simply just fall out. But it's holding the whole thing fine. I'm sure Manfrotto tested it. They say 20 kilo, that'll screw, and I'm sure it will hold, but the time will show. Okay, moment of truth. Man, I am not holding it by the end. I'm too scared. Designed to go higher, and you can go higher, but also further out if you need to reach out. It does work. I am very impressed. I am very impressed with this. Very cool. It's definitely good for filming real estate. You could go higher and get like a low-flying drone shot almost, but also filming your neighbor through their window if you wanted to. You can reach quite high. It is a very cool invention, design. It does work.
I mean, the shots you're going to be able to get are going to be amazing, but
I'll come closer so we can hear what you're saying.
Heavy. For me, it's just how to get the most out of the maximum extension. Like, it's going to get so top heavy that you're not going to be able to get the most out of the extension, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
It's getting used to. It's getting used to is the thing here. Once you get used to it, yeah, it's not going to be easy. You have to have a strong back, strong hands. So when you finish filming with this, it won't stand on its own. Obviously, it's a monopod type of thing. You could lean against the wall or put on the ground, but this comes really, really handy to simply screw this screw in and make it a tripod. What would be nice to have is some kind of clip-on device like the quick release plate on this as well, so you can slide in or clip on and lock it to make it a bit quicker, because I have to hold the whole thing up while screwing the screw, but yeah, it's working. It's standing on its own. Overall, I'm very impressed with this device because it simply works, and it works very well, Manfrotto well. The whole kit allows you to get more creative with your gimbal shots. It gives you an option to shoot jib-like shots, go high, go through windows and vehicles, and generally give you more flexibility to what you can do with a gimbal. Unfortunately, they charge for it extra. GimBoom is £160 or $180. Quick release plate, another £90 or $100. There's cheaper carbon fiber extension pole available, which is only £25 or $30, but it is not extendable like gimbal. There's also a remote handle that can be attached to this arm, firstly to give you the chance to swing gimbal low and film near the ground, but also for controlling the gimbal functions and camera wirelessly. Very handy, but extra cost again, about $180 or £150 extra. If you use manual lenses and you want to have a control over focus or zoom of the lens via this control wheel, there's also follow focus available, extra £130 or $125. You can control the gimbal and all the settings via free Manfrotto app made by Fayutech, not even hiding the fact it's in the name of the app. Easy to connect and use, and kind of must-have for updating firmware. One thing that is really strange for any current electronic device is that the gimbal has only old school USB sockets, not USB-C. One thing that I really like is that it has removable batteries. Not only you can get a spare set to go longer without the need of charging, but also it makes it easier when flying with it, as you can stick the gimbal in a suitcase and batteries in your hand luggage. Charger comes with a micro USB socket though, not USB-C. Why? Price and value for money. The gimbal with the basic accessories retails for £556 here in UK or $549 in US, and this is okay for a gimbal that can take 4.6 kilogram payload and one that is easy to use, but all the extras that make it really cool or unique make it more expensive. The GimBoom with its tripod legs is unique and certainly worth the extra money if you are going to use it a lot. There are other cheaper accessories available from other brands too, like smaller handles or different wireless follow focus systems. You might already have these. Gimbal on its own is priced well competitively for the spec you are getting here, but the accessories will make it more expensive. Conclusion, I'm very impressed with how it works. It is, I dare to say, pretty much a perfect gimbal. Well priced? Possibly. I love the GimBoom accessory. This makes it really stand out from the crowd, but altogether it could be too pricey, especially if you are not going to use it regularly or professionally. Who is it for then? Firstly, it is a perfect gimbal for a loyal Manfrotto user, like me, I guess. It is what you expect from Manfrotto: solid build and excellent performance. Accessories make it more specialist or more versatile for sure, but at extra cost. Overall, I think regardless of the price, it's not badly priced for what it is. It is one of the best gimbals that I have used in this class, cheaper than DJI RS3 Pro, and one that is very easy to use, and I highly recommend it. And this is it from me. I hope this video was in some way helpful or informative. If it was, please give me that thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. The stabilizer is somehow less. Since ChatGPT, the GimBoom, who is the